At a city's railway station lived a beggar. He earned his daily bread by asking for alms from passengers sitting in trains that arrived and departed from the station. One day, while he was begging, he noticed a tall man dressed smartly in a suit and boots. The beggar thought to himself, "This man looks very rich. If I ask him for alms, he will surely give me a good amount of money." So the beggar approached the tall man and asked him for alms. Looking at the beggar, the tall man said calmly, "You are always asking. Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied helplessly, "Sir, I am a beggar. I always ask from people. I don't have the status or ability to give anything to anyone." The tall man said firmly, "If you cannot give anything to others, then you have no right to ask either. I am a merchant, and I believe only in exchange. If you have something to give me, only then will I give you something in return." After saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar began thinking deeply about the man's words. What the tall man had said touched his heart. He wondered, maybe I don't receive much money because I never give anything in return. But I am a beggar. What can I possibly give to others? He kept thinking about this question for 2 days, but he could not find an answer. On the third day, while sitting near the station, his eyes fell on some flowers blooming on plants around the station. Suddenly, an idea struck him. Why not give flowers to people in return for alms? He liked the idea and plucked some flowers. That day, when he went to beg in the train, he did something different. Whenever someone gave him alms, he offered them flowers in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them with joy. Now, every day, the beggar plucked flowers and distributed them in exchange for alms. Within a few days, he noticed a change. Many more people started giving him money. As long as he had flowers, people gave him alms generously. But when the flowers ran out, people stopped giving him money. This became his daily routine. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man sitting in a train, the man who had inspired him to give something in return. The beggar quickly went to him and said respectfully, "Today I have something to give you, flowers. Please give me alms, and in return I will give you these flowers." The tall man gave him some money, and the beggar handed him the flowers. The tall man smiled and said, "Wonderful. Today you have become a merchant just like me." After saying this, he got down at his station with the flowers. Once again, the tall man's words deeply touched the beggar's heart. He felt extremely happy. His eyes began to sparkle. He felt as if he had found the key to success that could change his life. He immediately got down from the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted loudly with excitement, "I am not a beggar. I am a merchant. I can become rich too." People who saw him thought that the beggar had gone mad. From the very next day, the beggar was never seen at that station again. 6 months later, 2 men dressed in suits and boots were traveling through the same station. They noticed each other. One of them shook hands with the other and asked, "Do you recognize me?" The other man replied, "No, I think we are meeting for the first time." The first man smiled and said, "No, this is not our first meeting. We have met 3 times." The second man looked confused. "I don't remember. When did we meet before?" The first man smiled and said, "We met twice before in this very train. I am the same beggar to whom you explained what I should do in life during our first meeting, and in our second meeting you told me who I truly was." The second man smiled in surprise and said, "Oh, I remember now. You are the same beggar to whom I once refused to give alms, and the second time I bought flowers from you. But today, where are you going in this suit, and what do you do now?" The first man replied confidently, "Yes, I am that same beggar, but today I am a very big flower merchant. I am traveling to another city for my business." After a brief pause, he continued, "In our first meeting, you taught me the law of give and take, that we receive only when we give something in return. This rule of exchange truly works, and I have experienced it myself. But I always considered myself a beggar and never thought beyond that. During our second meeting, you told me that I had already become a merchant. That was when I understood the truth. People were not giving me alms, they were paying the price for the flowers. They were buying flowers from me because they couldn't get flowers cheaper anywhere else. In people's eyes, I was a small merchant, but in my own eyes, I was still a beggar. After your words, I realized my true identity. With the money I earned by selling flowers on the train, I bought more flowers and became a flower trader. People here love flowers, and their love turned me into a successful flower merchant." Both merchants smiled happily. When the train arrived at the station, they got down together and walked ahead, talking about their businesses. Friends, this story teaches us a powerful lesson. The tall merchant understood the law of give and take very well. All successful people in the world use this principle in life. He shared this formula with the beggar, and the beggar applied it. The results were clearly visible in his life. He changed his thinking, and his life changed. This story tells us that if we change our mindset, we can achieve anything. If we keep thinking of ourselves as small, we will remain small forever. To become great, we must think big. The essence of this story is simple. Success is hidden in your mindset. Awaken your self-respect. Think big about yourself and see how you rise to the peak of success.